Good day, traders. This is Rich with some news trading action on the weekend. Today, we're going to go over the news trades I took in August. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. Yes, this is the third installment of news trading that I've been doing over the last few months, and it's time to do an update for August. We're at September 5th right now, but I can get to the August trades today. Anyway, we had a handful of trades in August. We did not have a ton. I didn't record them all. News flow was kind of soft in August. Actually, all trading in August was kind of lame. But I did get some good ones, I believe, on video, but I'm not too sure. I haven't gone through them. So I have a list here. I'm just going to go through them one at a time and kind of remember what I did in the past. So the goal here is to show you how I have been trading the news and how you can make trading news part of your strategy going forward, because I found that news trading is a great way where if you're just sitting back and not forcing dumb trades, a news trade can pop in at any particular time throughout the day and you can nail it for a nice little winner, big winner, whatever you want to do. You just got to manage your risk and be smart and kind of decipher the news. You have to be really decisive on your trading. There's a lot of times I wish I bought max margin. There's times I wish I bought minimal margin of shares, because sometimes the stock does move in your favor. Sometimes the stock goes against you and then moves in your favor. So there's definitely a lot of things to consider when news trading. I think in the summer it gets a little bit more difficult, but it has picked up a bit. So let's go through them. I'll go one at a time. I have a small list. Hopefully this video won't get too long. The last one got pretty long unexpectedly. So let's get into it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I do have a couple links in the description. One is to Benzinga Pro and the other is to the T3 Newsbeat live room. Both are links where I would get a little bit of a commission or referral fee for sending traffic. So please do that if you can. It supports the channel. No big deal if you don't, but it really would help. And obviously you get 2-week free trials at both with the links in the description. If you have any questions about those, just hit me up on the comments or send me an email at rich@afternoongrind.com and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So again, here we go. Each one's going to be handled differently. Each one could have worked out better, worse, whatever. Sometimes I got out just in time. Sometimes I didn't hang on long enough. In the first video here, I didn't get in. So let's get into it. RCL News. CFO. Meanwhile, Benzinga's talking about RCL. Watch the volume come in here. This is all you have to watch. It's going down. But watch the video. Watch the volume right here. Boom, 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 boom. Shoot. I just watched this thing go up a point and in no time without any pain. But what the problem was, there was a news conference going on, and during the news conference the CEO was talking and you could see how the drop occurred, and I'm like, do I really want to get in this thing? Unfortunately I didn't, because look at the thing just kept climbing up and moved up almost over a point. It would have been a nice little news trade. So remember, sometimes I don't take all the news trades, but I do listen to them. I try to decipher. We have two things going on. We have the Benzinga guys, and we have the Newsbeat T3 live room guys talking about rotation. And there's a lot going on, which is really cool, because it keeps you in the game, keeps you active, keeps your mind right. And I just wanted to show this video how this is a case of not catching a potentially good trade, but it just didn't set up the way I thought it was going to do. So let's continue on. Let's get a real one. NAUT. Let's see how this one plays out. What did I do here? Order field. Okay, now I remember. NAUT was insane. This is back in August 5th, 2021. I'm already in this trade based on the news, but if you notice, I'm in a halt here with 300 shares in my position size. So I don't like to be in halts. I'm not a fan of being in a halt. I actually caught the halt at the end of this news trade, right? So I'm just in the trade. I'm not up any money. I'm at the price of the halt. So I'm in at 938. You can see here I have no closed money on my P&L, and I'm only in for 300 shares. So what I did was, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to risk too much here. I'm going to put a offer out 50 cents above, and I'll put another smaller offer out, a little bit higher. Watch what happens right when the halt ends. I think this was a 10-minute halt. Notice the volume, though, so that's another reason I was a little sketched out. It was only 300,000, but the news was really good, and it had already tracked 2 points up. How much more did it have in it? I don't know. So I just put these offers out, so when it did open and if it caught my offer, it would sell it immediately, and I'd get a nice little chunk of change. So watch what happens here. Opens up.
Order
already eats me up. I mean, it went up to 1019. My offer was at 990. I have 100 shares left, and I got 50 shares at 1030. I don't know if that gets taken out. I thought it did, though.
Order
Yeah.
filled.
So it went up to 1039. And I just got out completely. So this was a news trade where I did get in at the later part of the trade. The news came out, and this is all news. I would have never found this stock without the news source like Benzinga or the T3. And if you notice, I was at 0, and I closed that trade with 300 shares at $223. And now look at the volume at 740,000. So this was one of those ones that really worked out in my favor, and I love when it does that. You can't complain about that. Obviously, if I had put my offer out at all of it at 1030, 1035, I would have made a lot more money, but you take what you can get sometimes. Okay, let's continue on. GoPro.
GoPro, that's GPRO.
Okay, so we have some news coming in about GoPro. I'm in this mRNA trade on my final 3 shares. I don't even know why I have 3 shares left. But you can hear someone speaking about GoPro, and I react.
GPRO and Amazon filed lawsuit against counterfeiter. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
So that was a quick...
GoPro, GPRO, and Amazon filing lawsuit against counterfeiters. GPRO and AMZN, GoPro, and Amazon.
So we had some rotation on that as well. Notice my sales 1132 on my final shares, 400 shares. Pretty good sale considering it went to 1133. It did go a little bit higher, I believe. I'm not quite sure, but that was a quick $107. All I did was switch over from the stock I was looking at, which was mRNA, heard GoPro, heard Amazon, boom, made it happen. 500 shares.
GPRO and Amazon filed lawsuit against counterfeiter.
So I'm in 1109. Boom. Sometimes you just gotta take your money and run, right? Like if you're, it depends on your size of your account. That's one of those ones you could have gone, 5,000 shares. GoPro doesn't move that much. It's pretty tight knit stock. It was $120 on the day. But when you hear that kind of news, you kind of had to jump on board. I just went with 500 shares. I'll take it though. Let's move on here. What do we got? MMC. Please remember, I don't quite remember everything that's happened. It comes back to me, but not until I watch the video again. So this is MMC. Okay, here I'm hearing MMC. I see a stock up from 150 to 151 in a minute. 900,000 in volume, and I react. So I'm peeling. Actually, I was in for 300 shares. I didn't handle this one well. I don't think it was kind of hard to hear in this case. Actually, I think I did handle it well. I got 151.38 was my final offer on 200 shares, and it went up to 66. And it did that quick. You notice it popped up, and you can look at the 1 minute here. These are 2 minute candles. These are 1 minute. It popped up, And I got my share. I got my $100. Again, 300 shares. I don't know what the stock is. Never traded it before, so it was one of those things where you kind of dial it back and just take your gains, and move on. It's a quick 10 seconds. I made $100. That's the fastest money you can make. So that was pretty exciting. Okay, what do we got? FedEx. We've traded FedEx in the past couple of months on news, and this one I think was pretty good.
FedEx is raising surcharges.
Okay, so yes, FedEx is raising rates, of course, on shipping, and when you raise rates, you make more money. Let's see what happens.
Peak season beginning November 1st. That's FDX.
So double rotation on this one. I popped in pretty quick. It could be a spready stock at times. But once I saw it break 276, I took some shares off. I was only in for...
FedEx here, popping with volume on the news.
Look at that. Nice move on this 2-minute candle. Nice move on this 1-minute candle. Quick $78. Look at the volume, though. This was kind of early in the morning, I believe. Yeah, like 10:15, 10:20. It's not a really heavily traded stock, but it does move when it gets news. But look how spready it can get, But it does go higher. It does go much higher. And this is one of those ones I wish I held. I think I was only in for 100 shares. Let me confirm that. Yeah, I only took 100 shares. FedEx can be tough. But, again, I probably could have made a lot more on that. But, I'll take the $78. All right, let's see what else. What do we got? FedEx to Peloton. Okay, I think this was a good one. I think this was a negative news Peloton, but let's see what happens.
EQS Peloton.
Okay, so the rotation's coming around on Peloton, but listen to what he says about it and see how I react.
Peloton sent me out an email today. We are sharing that we are now ready to offer a CPSC-approved tread repair.
Okay, they're talking about repair. This is actually positive.
Talking about an approved tread repair. Peloton PCO. Order fill.
Trying to get shares off on this one. I try to get them all off because Peloton can be a little squinky as well. So it did pop up. I did. I don't know how much better I could do on it. I mean, I'm in a 111. Let's see what my entry is. So 111.03, and my sell is at 111.43. So 40 cents, 300 shares, $120. Quick and easy, right? Peloton could be good. We've traded Peloton on news before to the south side and to the north. So this one worked out. I like trading to the north better than the south, but I'll take it. Fubo. I have problems with Fubo, but this news should be interesting. Okay, so this is a Comcast deal with Fubo, and Fubo is one of those stocks that's been talked about to be bought out, and I jam it. 500 shares. I'm peeling off shares here left and right as it's climbing. We know... Gets kind of loud there. I only made $47 in that one. It could be spready too. You can see 6-cent spreads, and a lot of times it gets slammed down on news. So keep that in mind if you do decide to trade Fubo on news. It gets the nice pop and then the drop. I don't remember if it goes higher. I would not be surprised if it does go higher. I got out at $27.93, and here it's at $28.04. So obviously I could have made more money on that one, but it is what it is. Walk away, move on, find the next one. CBOE. This was I believe, a false fact statement about the CME buying the CBOE or vice versa, but it didn't come to be true. So I'm watching out of the halt because I missed the initial move. This happened in a matter of a minute, and I didn't get over in time. So I'm watching this because that news seems huge when you get bought out. But let's see what happens. So I jump in at 135.20, only 100 shares because I know this CBOE is a tough trader. And it's only had 570,000 traded so far in the day. We're at, late in the day right now. We're at like 130, 135, and that's not a lot of shares. So I'm in for 100. I'm already down money after I enter, and then it. Did you see? I mean, did you see that spike? Watch the spike here. So I peel off 25, and then the news rotates. You can hear the news rotates on Benzinga. So I'm thinking this thing is going up, like another 5 points. So just trying to hold, but my instincts are to sell. 147 on that one. You know, it turned out that news was false, and luckily I got my piece, and eventually it did fall down a bit. But that was a decent trade. So I'll take that and move on. Let's see. mRNA. These CBOE and mRNA were the same day. This one I think was nice. I don't remember exactly, but let's just see.
U.S. public health officials said U.S. plans to offer Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccine boosters.
I can't react fast enough. I'm like, oh my god. This is when the boosters were being discussed for the really first time, like heavily. They've talked about boosters in the past, but now we're like really pressing boosters on mRNA. And mRNA, we know it can be a tough trader for sure. But watch what happens.
For all Americans beginning the week of September.
Starts ramping up nicely there. I thought this thing was going to go like 10 points on this news. But it just couldn't get through this 402 level, I think. I think the 402 level gets stuck at. You can see, watch the level 2 here. I'm just trying to hold. And it just gets stuck at 402. Pops a little bit and then starts to... Oh, it did get through. I'm just like... trying to get the big one here. I eventually just sell it all. It does go up to like 410 on this news. I mean, I think it does climb up pretty well. But that was a quick $220 on 100 shares. I'll take it. mRNA, if you can get a good news event, you got to jump on it and be willing to risk, 2 points, I would say. 100 shares is fair, I think. Obviously, I could have made a lot more on that one, but it is what it is. Okay, hold on. Okay, we got a couple more here. WDC, haven't really traded this much. I screwed this one up because I nailed this one, and then I tried to get in it again, and I gave a lot of it back, but the news was okay.
WDC, talking about merging with another company. Don't touch the options. WDC.
So we're waiting for rotation on this one. Already spiked up.
This is bullish.
200 shares. That was a nice pop, but if you notice something, I'll go back on it. So 315. Did I really make 315 on that trade? Yeah, I made 315 on that trade. I think it was a really solid trade. When I got over to it, notice luckily I didn't get over to it if I got in it earlier, because it had gone up to 64.5 and dropped down to 62.5. My fill was a little bit risky. I probably, on a normal basis, probably shouldn't have taken this one because it had just pulled back all the way. But I was looking for a follow-through move. I only went with 200 shares. My risk was really up $200 because I think I can get out with a point loss. But watch how I get in my entry. Okay, so I got in at the 63.50 break, and got in at 63.35, just ahead of that, and it immediately pops. So watch this thrust through 64. Boom, just went to 64 to 64.77. I did peel up that 100 shares. I mean, this could have been like a $600 trade easily, but I got the most out of it I could, and I'm happy with it. Okay, so now we have Disney. I think I have sound. I don't know where the sound is. Huh.
As a medium rotation, Disney is launching a streaming service in Latin America.
Yeah, usually when
Not
you
in it here.
we watch Disney all the time for news because it does make nice moves. And I think I'm just waiting for the rotation so as to get more people, more eyes on it. I jump on it on that little thrust through the 50 level. I feel like I got a good piece here. I also feel like I could have gotten a lot more. It is Disney.
Exploding up now.
Order filled.
All the dingings.
GIS, Disney.
Here's the rotation.
Disney's rotating.
Latin America, Delta, India, Sandy.
I felt like it was stronger news event, but it didn't really carry much after after I got out. I don't feel like it went up much higher. But I also feel like I could have gotten out here.
I scalped out.
I probably could have made a little bit more, but it is what it is. I'll take it. During the month of August,
Order rejected.
that was me just getting out, and I do think it goes up a little bit higher. It wasn't 123. That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But remember, this will come down to what size you are trading. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that was the last news event of August that I have recorded. There were definitely a bunch more. I didn't really have any bad losers. I would say the biggest losers I do get in news trading is around like $40 to $60, except for one time I lost on a dash trade. But overall, I think I did well with news considering it wasn't that great. But I feel like the next few months things will ramp up pretty good for news trading. So I will continue trading news and I will continue recording and sharing it with you. So make sure you check out the description and check out those links. You can check those Benzinga Pro and the T3 Newsbeat room, which is a great room, by the way, if you need a trading room. Psychology wise, it's just one of the best things that's happened to me. And then the news part is, top notch. Really good guys in there, and just a great community of traders. I just want to share that with you. So make sure you subscribe if you're new, share the video, like the video, and comment on the video. If you have any questions, I am here. Leave a comment, send me an email at rich@afternoongrind.com, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a good day, and I will talk to you soon.